Good morning, America. As the sun rises over our cities and the flag waves in the early light, we're reminded of the freedoms and security we enjoy every day. But behind that sense of safety stands a force that is always vigilant, always ready. When we think of national defense, we often picture soldiers on the ground or powerful ships at sea. Yet, it's in the vast expanse above us, the sky, where American strength truly soars and where our most critical battles for security are fought. The United States Air Force is more than just a branch of the military. It is our nation's shield and sword in the air, space, and cyberspace. Every day, airmen fly, fight, and win to keep us safe. Whether patrolling the skies, responding to crises, or defending against unseen cyber threats. With unmatched speed and reach, airmen can project American power anywhere on the globe within hours, not days. From delivering humanitarian aid to launching critical missions, their readiness and agility are second to none. The Air Force maintains air superiority, conducts global strikes, and provides rapid mobility, capabilities no other service can match. Whether it's defending our homeland, supporting allies, or deterring aggression, these missions are vital to our nation's security. But the Air Force's mission doesn't stop at the edge of the atmosphere. It also operates the satellites that power our military communications, guide our navigation systems, and even enable the technology we use in our daily lives. However, after years of inconsistent funding and shifting priorities, our Air Force is shrinking, its fleet is aging, and it's struggling to keep pace with the demands of modern warfare. Many aircraft are decades old, requiring constant maintenance just to stay operational. Meanwhile, our adversaries, nations like China and Russia, are investing heavily in advanced technology, building new stealth fighters, and modernizing their air forces at a rapid pace. The risk of falling behind is real, and the consequences could be dire. The decisions we make today about funding, modernization, and support will determine whether we can continue to protect our nation tomorrow. It's not just a question for military leaders or politicians, but for every American who values security and freedom. Are we giving our guardians in the sky the tools, training, and technology they need to succeed? The answer, right now, remains uncertain. The future of our security depends on the choices we make today. The Air Force is shrinking at an alarming rate. This isn't just a minor reduction, it's a significant downsizing that has far-reaching implications for national security and global stability. The latest budget proposes retiring 340 aircraft, a staggering number that will leave gaps in our defense capabilities, but only funds 76 new ones, a major net loss. This imbalance means that for every new plane, nearly 5 are being retired. For 2 decades, Air Force funding has lagged behind the Army and Navy, forcing tough choices and cuts. This chronic underfunding has led to a fleet that is not only smaller but also older and less capable. The result, the smallest, oldest Air Force in history. Our aircraft are aging, and many are becoming obsolete, unable to keep up with modern threats. To maintain air superiority, leaders say we need 72 new fighters a year, a number that would help us stay competitive and ready for any conflict. But the budget only buys 45. This shortfall means we are not replacing our aging fleet fast enough to maintain our edge. This means older planes fly longer, pilot shortages worsen, and readiness drops. Our pilots are flying aircraft that are decades old, increasing the risk of mechanical failures and accidents. Fewer planes mean less training, slower crisis response, and a diminished ability to project power globally. Our ability to respond to international crises is compromised, and fewer options for commanders. This lack of resources limits strategic flexibility and puts our national security at risk. This isn't theoretical, it's a deliberate downsizing that increases risk. The decisions being made today will have long-term consequences for our military readiness. We are choosing a smaller, weaker Air Force. This choice is not just about numbers, it's about our ability to defend our nation and support our allies. The numbers are clear. America's air power is being dangerously reduced. This reduction in force is not just a statistic, it's a real and present danger. The consequences are real, and the risk is growing. We must address this issue before it's too late. The Air Force's fleet isn't just shrinking, it's getting old. Across the country, the sight of aging jets lined up on the tarmac is becoming all too familiar. These aircraft, once the pride of American air power, now show the wear and tear of decades in service. The challenge isn't just about numbers. It's about the ticking clock on every airframe, engine, and system. The average aircraft is over 30 years old. B-52 bombers and KC-135 tankers have been flying for more than half a century. These legendary planes have served through generations of conflict, adapting to new missions and technologies. But their age is starting to show. Many of these aircraft were designed in an era when slide rules were cutting edge and the world looked very different. These planes are reliable, but they're operating far beyond their intended lifespans. Every year it gets harder to find replacement parts, and the maintenance burden grows heavier. Crews work tirelessly to keep them flying, but the reality is that no amount of dedication can turn back the clock. Older aircraft break down more, spend more time in maintenance, and are harder to keep mission ready. The cost of keeping these planes in the air rises with every passing year, straining budgets and stretching resources thin. Sometimes entire squadrons are grounded while waiting for critical repairs. This means fewer planes available for missions and training, and a greater risk of failure in combat. When jets are stuck in hangars instead of flying, pilots lose valuable training hours, and the Air Force's ability to respond quickly to crises is diminished. The readiness gap grows wider every year. Technologically, legacy jets can't compete with modern adversaries' stealth and sensors. Today's threats are faster, smarter, and more elusive. While our older jets were once state-of-the-art, they now struggle to keep up with the rapid pace of innovation seen in rival air forces. Sending pilots into combat in outdated jets is an unacceptable risk. These men and women deserve the best equipment we can provide, not hand-me-downs from a bygone era. Every mission flown in an aging aircraft is a gamble with lives and national security. After the Cold War, we slashed new aircraft buys. Now those decisions haunt us. The peace dividend of the 1990s led to deep cuts in procurement, and the effects are still being felt today. We're paying the price for decades of deferred investment. Plans for hundreds of B-2S and F-22S were cut to a fraction. Instead of robust fleets of next-generation aircraft, we have small numbers of advanced jets surrounded by aging workhorses. The gap between what we have and what we need is growing. We're flying the consequences of underinvestment. Every faded paint job and creaking landing gear tells the story of choices made long ago, choices that now limit our options and threaten our security. Our fleet is old, expensive to maintain, and increasingly outmatched. The cost of keeping these planes flying is skyrocketing, diverting funds from modernization and innovation. Meanwhile, our adversaries are fielding newer, more capable aircraft at a rapid pace. Without urgent modernization, we risk losing our edge. The future of American air power depends on bold action today, investing in new aircraft, new technologies, and the next generation of pilots. The clock is ticking, and the world isn't waiting. Shrinking and aging the Air Force directly weakens national security. Fewer, older planes mean gaps in our defenses and embolden adversaries. If the Air Force can't guarantee air superiority, every military operation becomes riskier. Recent budget cuts, like retiring the A-10 before a replacement is ready, eliminate vital capabilities. These aren't abstract cuts. They're real losses for commanders and troops. A weakened Air Force undermines our entire military and invites instability. Deterrence depends on overwhelming force. Shrinking fleets send the opposite message. Budget cuts don't just save money, they increase the risk of conflict. The Iran strike of 2025 showed why a modern Air Force is essential. Only the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber could reach, penetrate, and strike Iran's nuclear facilities. The mission succeeded, but it exposed our vulnerability. Just 19 B-2S remain, far fewer than planned. During the operation, one B-2 had to make an emergency landing, highlighting the risks of an aging fleet. Relying on a handful of 30-year-old bombers leaves little margin for error. One more failure could have changed the outcome. This mission proved that unique, high-end capabilities are a necessity, not a luxury. Our security depends on investing in next-generation systems like the B-21 Raider. We can't gamble on a shrinking, aging fleet. The lesson is clear: modernize or risk mission failure. The Air Force is responsible for two legs of America's nuclear triad: land-based missiles and strategic bombers. These forces guarantee our survival and deter adversaries. The Minuteman III missiles and B-52 bombers are decades old and urgently need replacement. The Sentinel program will modernize our missiles, but only if fully funded. The B-21 Raider is essential to keep our bomber leg credible. Underfunding the Air Force risks eroding our ultimate security guarantee. Adversaries are modernizing their arsenals. We can't afford to fall behind. A credible nuclear deterrent demands constant investment. The Air Force's nuclear mission must remain a top priority. Budget cuts don't just shrink fleets, they erode expertise. Retiring aircraft without replacements means losing skilled airmen and entire communities of specialists. At bases like Kadena and Robbins, squadrons have been sent home or left without missions, gutting morale and readiness. When fleets like J-Stars are retired, we lose irreplaceable talent and experience. Pilot training shortfalls are worsening as old trainers are retired faster than new ones arrive. This hollowing out breaks trust and damages the all-volunteer force. Without people and expertise, even the best technology is useless. There's a path forward, if we choose it. The 2020s were meant to be a decade of Air Force renewal, with new bombers, fighters, trainers, and missiles. Programs like the B-21 Raider, F-35, F-47, and Sentinel missile promise a more capable force. Autonomous drones and new tankers are in the pipeline, but nearly every program is underfunded and moving too slowly. We're retiring old planes faster than we buy new ones, creating dangerous gaps. Our adversaries aren't waiting for us to catch up. We need a national commitment and real investment to accelerate modernization. The technology and plans exist. What's missing is political will. The future of American air power depends on action now. The evidence is clear. The Air Force is in managed decline and we must act now. Air supremacy isn't a birthright. It's earned through investment and innovation. Our fleet is too small, too old, and falling behind global threats. We've seen the consequences: near misses in combat, lost expertise, and eroding deterrence. This is not sustainable. Air and space power are the foundation of our military strength. Rebuilding means stable, increased budgets, and faster procurement of new systems. We must stop retiring planes without replacements. The men and women of the Air Force are ready, but they need the right tools. America's security in the coming decades depends on the choices we make today.